Good evening. My name is Antonio DeConza. The lesson in the lesson plan that I've devised to come up with would be to find a percentage of a total amount utilizing real world situations. The objectives in this will be to learn how to multiply a percentage of a real number that is associated with real world situations, and students will be able to accurately identify a specific percentage amount of the total amount and confidently know how to apply this to real world situations. While I teach this lesson, some of the materials that I would want to utilize and implement within my classroom activity will be like whiteboard, some dry erase markers, a dry eraser, worksheet for students so that we can check knowledge retention by the end of the day, in which the students will need a pencil, an eraser, blank sheet of paper, the worksheet that I'll hand out for them, and then I'll allow them to have the option of utilizing a calculator for more specific percentages. Based on my lesson plan, it's derived around, an average of an hour-long classroom period of instruction. So the first few minutes of class start, we're going to have the students sit in their assigned seats. Probably have the students use a blank sheet of paper to put their name, their date, to utilize as like a scratch pad, use to help them crunch numbers, do math however they need to. I'm going to have the lesson plan written on the whiteboard, find a percentage of a total amount, real world situations, and they will title their piece of paper for their own notes the same thing. This will be the guided note portion where we will implement multiple different scenarios that are also student-led, but coached in a mannerism by me, the instructor, on how to solve these questions, but allowing it to be fluid and dynamic in the learning environment. Students will be able to input, add, and correct each other while at the same time solving these questions. For example, I can ask a student how many gigabytes are being downloaded out of a file, and there's 287 gigabytes. And if there's 12.7% of the download complete, how many gigabytes are currently downloaded? And now we can adjust how much of that percentage of this download is downloaded by having students put in numbers. If there's 300 gigabytes, one student says it's that, or another student says it's 20% of the download complete. That, and then identify what 20% or 12.7% of 287 gigabytes or 300 gigabytes would look like. And that could change for how much cream is in a freshly milked pail of milk from a cow. And if there is 20% cream, being able to find out how much of that gallon is actual cream. Students will be able to solve that, figure that out, and that would be the guided note portion the majority of the time, which would take about 30 to 35 minutes. With the worksheet, that will be within the last, let's say, third of the classroom time, last 20 minutes of the classroom time, which will be like around 5 questions, so it's about 4 minutes per question. And it's going to just be questions that I've created, simple stuff to something that might be harder with the last question or two, where they have to use math and write it out and solve it as such. This will be the last 20 minutes. Turn it in on the way out so they understand that this is still done in class. Let's see. Lastly, I think that's about all I would do. Pretty simple, easy lesson plan. Quick day period of instruction.